Good morning. Today's Bible study is titled The Kind Master from Matthew 20. Am I not allowed to do what I choose with what belongs to me? Or do you begrudge my generosity? So the last will be first and the first will be last. Jesus told many stories to help people understand God, His kingdom, and grace. Here is one of those stories. A vineyard owner went out early one morning to find workers. Men who needed jobs would stand in the market waiting for someone to hire them. The master found workers and promised to pay them a denarius, a fair amount for a day's work. The men were happy to work and provide for their families. Later that morning, the master returned to the market and found others who were standing and waiting, eagerly hoping to find work. The master hired them too. The owner returned again at noon and once more in the afternoon. Each time he found more men who needed to work. So he hired them and promised to pay them what was right. An hour before sunset, the master returned to the market one last time and found a man who had been standing and hoping and waiting all day. They needed money to buy food for their hungry families. The kind master saw these desperate men and hired them too. At the end of the day, the master told his steward to pay all the workers. Those who had arrived last were given their money first. They were each given a denarius. They looked at the money and were so happy to take it home and buy food for their families. The master gave them what they needed, even though they hadn't earned it. When those who had worked all day came, they expected to be paid more, but they were paid one denarius, just like those who had worked only 1 hour, exactly what the master had promised them that morning. That made them angry. They didn't think it was fair. But the good and generous master gave each worker what he needed. He showed grace to those who needed much and grace to those who needed little. Grace for everyone. How is Jesus like the kind master in this story?